All right, guys, let's check out this Bulova Devil Diver. Now, this is a newer release, the orange variant. Newer as in like earlier in 2021. Yes, I'm late to the game, but here's the hang tag. It is a 96B350. Retail price is $750. Even right on the factory website, I think they offer a 20% discount. So you're probably going to be able to pick them up for like $600 range. This one, and I'm going to give you the link as well to Mimo's Jewelry out in Long Beach, California. That's where you need to go get them. And you can tell Mimo that I sent you, and you will get yourself a dandy of a deal. So this thing is impossible to capture the true intensity of the, I guess, fluorescent orange color. So I'm going to drop in some other pictures and some other video towards the end of the video after the Lume shot and everything. And some of those are going to look a little different. You're going to see the shades look different. I know replaying the video, maybe it'll look better, but when I'm looking through the viewfinder here, it's a little more subdued from what it's actually like in real life. So, and maybe it's the studio lights, maybe it's the balance of the video or something, but I cannot, it's hard for me to explain to you how intense the orange is on this watch. It is so bright and brilliant. It is very fun. All right, let's get into the watch case here. So this is a 41 millimeter automatic diver, 46 lug to lug. You can see a nice case shape there, just kind of gently arching down, non-drilled lugs, fully polished case. There's really not much brushing. Maybe underneath the coinage bezel, on the bezel, there's a little bit of brushing. The rest of it's full polished. 14.8 thick, but that's including the boxed and double domed sapphire crystal. Minus that, it's actually pretty thin, probably closer to like 12. 19 millimeter lug width here. Kind of an oddball there, but this one comes with a fitted rubber strap. There are some colorways of this watch that are going to include the bracelet. I think most of them do. The orange is the one to get, in my opinion, and comes on this rubber strap. Now, like I said, there's other colorways. There's a green one. There's some blue with yellow or something like that. There's a colorway that's less intense than this for sure that you might prefer over this one. 6 millimeter screw down crown. This is a 200 meter water depth rated watch, or the reason they call it a Devil Diver is because on the dial it says 666 feet. So even when you go to Bulova's website, they label it as the Devil Diver Oceanographer, and that's listed on the bottom there. I don't know why I have trouble saying that word, but automatic snorkel, 666 feet. Very vintage-ish, you know, very fun and playful. Weighs in at 101 gram. And if we do some close-ups here, you're going to see, and I took some macro, I'll drop those in later, but the indices, forget about applied indices. These are like jeweled. It's hard to see, but if you look, they have 4 posts on those, much like you would set a precious metal in a piece of jewelry or something. So very fun, very cool. I don't think I've handled another watch that has applied indices in such a fashion. On top of that, if the color and the way the indices are done are not cool enough, the sapphire crystal has a date magnifier, but it's applied on the underside. That is flat up here, guys. That date magnifier is on the underside. And I have handled a few watches that do that. Typically, like this one, the date magnification is going to be a little bit weaker than, you know, like the 2.5 times that you would like to see. But it's definitely there. You can see that it magnifies it. You know, if you get off cantered there, you can see that it does amplify it a little bit, and it's a little more legible. That's framed in window, white date disc with black printing. The other thing that I think a lot of people, including myself, I mean, I wish the handset, the hour and minute hand, and even the second hand were just a few millimeter longer. You know, it's vintage inspired, so I get it. It works. On top of the fact that if they were to make the minute hand longer, then it would interfere with the super tall indices. And as you can see, they're about at the same plane. So, and if you make that short enough to clear the hands, then that has to shrink all the other hands as well. The second hand actually is probably about on the same plane too. It would probably hit as well. So there's a reason why the hands are that short, and it makes sense. I get it. I would rather have the indices done the way they are if it means that I have to have a little bit shorter handset on the watch. I'm willing to accept that because it's just a cool looking watch. 120 click bezel, and oh wow, look at it, we still have the sticker on the back. I haven't even really worn this watch yet, so what do we have on the back here? Devil Diver. Oh no, Diver's watch 200 meter. It doesn't say Devil Diver on the back. Sapphire crystal, stainless steel, all that good stuff. Another little sticker on the back there. This is using the Miyota 821D for the automatic movement, which doesn't hack. That sticker wants to stay on the watch for sure. So it doesn't hack, which I'll unscrew it and show you, but you can hand wind. So it's the 800 series movement, which some of the earlier ones, they didn't even hand wind, if I'm not mistaken. But so you can hand wind this one, but it does not hack. So you pull it all the way out, the second hand keeps spinning. So I don't really care. My SKX doesn't hack either, and I love that watch, and I can't hand wind it. So at least I have the hand wind option. Pretty decent. A little bit of deflect on the crown there. When you do the crown on these, backspin it until you feel it drop into a thread, and then push in and then thread in. And you don't need to crank it down. You just thread it in, you're done. 120 click bezel on this. If you turn it slow, it's nice. If you turn it fast, it starts to sound a little funky, but there's really no play in this thing. It drops into position and it lines up. So the bezel as well is, it looks to be, if we zoom back in here, it looks to be like some sort of glass over it. So I don't know if that's sapphire. That might just be mineral. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I don't think that's loomed. We'll do a loom shot. I'm pretty sure that's not loomed. I'll double check that here in a moment. But so excellent movement. Do you get any rotor wobble? Yeah, a little bit, but the watch is big enough that I think it mitigates some of that. But in case you didn't know, the rotor, when it'll free spin one way and then it winds the other way. So in its free spin function on the Miyota, that's where you get like that rotor wobble. It's because that rotor like really spins fast instead of just some watches or some movements, they'll wind in both directions. So they're engaged. The clutch is engaged with the gear, so it's going to wind in either direction. This one only winds in one direction, so in the non-wind direction, it's just free spinning. That's why you get it, if that makes sense. Let's pop this guy on wrist. Oh, before I do that, I want to show it next to my orange monster. Look how meh it makes the orange monster look. As good as the orange was on the monster, it just looks like orange printer paper or something now. This thing, the Devil Diver's so alive and so vibrant. It's just, wow. It makes most other orange watches seem very ordinary. So here it is on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. The strap configuration works great. It has enough curvature built into it. The bracelet, when I was checking out the models with the bracelet, I was not very impressed with the bracelet. So I don't know that I would really care to have that on the bracelet. I think this rubber strap works good for me. It's nice and thick, but it already has the curvature and it has a nice hardware system here, the buckle and tang. I will say this is kind of a sticky rubber, and this frustrates me right here. Like to try to get that in there is like, and maybe it'll break in, but it's like sticky feeling. And then like right now, I feel like I have it too loose, so I got to get it. I got to get one notch tighter, and then I got to do that again. Like, so hopefully it breaks in, but that's me nitpicking. That would be my only nitpick. It's just a little sticky feeling when you got to stuff it in these 2 floating keepers, and it's a bugger. But once you get it in, who cares? You're good to go, right? So let's kill the lights and check the lume on this. Look at that. Even in low light, it's just so visible. This thing is so fun. Yeah. So there's the lume. Plenty of lume. Hour, minute, second. Pip up at the top. And, of course, the jeweled indices. kind of glad they didn't loom out the bezel on this one, honestly. I know that sounds funky, but the jeweled indices are just, they're so fun. And I think the attention should be drawn onto those on top of the color. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions on this one. This one's actually added into my collection. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next vid.